So today we are gonna review my Tesla Cybertruck. I bought this thing just over a year ago. I put 14,000 miles on it, and I want to give you the honest review that no one's been talking about. These trucks have been the hype. They've also been in the failure stages. Tesla is just not having a lot of success with them, but I'm going to give you my feedback. So let's jump right into this video. All right, so I got some questions here on my phone. Basically gonna read them and answer them. Some are edgy, some will leave you on the edge of your seat, and then some are just your basic questions that you need to know if you're gonna buy a Cybertruck. I think the biggest thing to start with is what's your actual range versus what Elon told me. And honestly, Elon said this car was gonna have 400 plus. It doesn't have that. It has 317 miles on a full charge. And that leads us into our second question, which is, how's your electric bill doing? Well, we have solar panels, so the electric is different, but I did pull up my electric on my phone, and as you can see, I could definitely put a screenshot. You definitely can't see that. I'll put a screenshot. $1,622 from June 2024 to May of 2025. So if you compare that to your car or anything else, you're definitely saving a lot of money, but I will say I think that is kind of a little less just because of these solar panels. And now I really think the biggest thing that people are wondering, like, how much is this car? Like, what does it go for if I'm buying it? Well, that's also one of the questions that really sucks, because I bought this car, Foundation Series, a year ago for $110,846.56. Not exaggerating, that was the exact amount that this car cost. And now you can get this exact same car for under $90,000. So he's already cut the price. I've lost over 40% equity in my car. And I think just putting an honest review out there, like, Elon did a good job. He designed a cool car. No one's seen it. It turns heads. It's the fastest car I've driven. It's the best car I've driven. More on that later. But he really screwed people on the equity of their vehicles. If you have a Model Y, you feel the pain. If you have a Model 3, you feel the pain. If you have a Model X, you're feeling the pain. All of these cars, he's kind of just like not cared about the consumer at the end of the day. And I think that's important to mention. Like, if you're looking to buy a Cybertruck, if you're clicking on this video, I will tell you this. The Cybertrucks are the cheapest they've ever been. I would suggest you get it for the prices they're at. It's an amazing car, amazing ride. We're not gonna go so much into that, but the steer-by-wire feature of the car, where the wheel is not attached to the actual steering wheel, is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Back to the questions though, kind of lost myself there. Let's jump into a nice edgy question. Charging at home or plug and pray situation, which is kind of a funny question. If you do not have a charger at home, don't get a Tesla. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you're in California, if you're in New York, if you're in Texas, if you're in one of these major cities, or if you're even in the Middle West, you're not gonna be able to get chargers. And relying on other places is just not the way. It's gonna leave you anxious. It's gonna leave you with a low battery. You need to be able to plug this thing in at your house. It's gonna cost you like $500-600 to get the whole electric system set up so that you could actually get good ampage. If you're just using a regular at-home outlet, it charges so slow and it's just not gonna work out. 14,000 miles in, I've had no battery degradation. I've had no battery degradation. Huh? And it does still feel like a spaceship. So I think, you know, it's an awesome car. The battery's good. Tesla, they know how to make their cars. But going into the next question is, how do I feel about the recalls? The recalls suck. I'm pretty sure there's been like 4 or 5. One was the day before I was about to get this car. They had to put a screw in the gas pedal. A little messy here. But if you could get in on that gas pedal and show that screw. They had to install that screw the day before I was supposed to get my car. And I think it's pretty crazy that it was the day before. So luckily they put that. There was a recall on the windshield wiper, which is ridiculously huge. As you can see, you know, super big. That's what my girlfriend says. And there's also a recall on this front thing that I haven't got fixed yet. So leave me to that. But yeah, it looks cool, right? I think that's what Elon was going for. And obviously negative $110,846.56. But, you know, here we are. How often do you use Autopilot? So I have full Autopilot, and I think that is one of the coolest features. I use it pretty often. I'd say at least once a day. If I'm driving this car, I'm using it. But it has a camera on the inside and it monitors you. Kind of creepy, kind of futuristic. So if you're not looking, if you're texting, it kind of kicks you out of it. And there's this whole system in which you get 3 strikes, and once you strike out, you get kicked out of autopilot for 1 week, and then after a week you get back in, and if you get kicked out again, you get kicked out for a month. And it's this whole process of, it's not really autopilot, it's supervised autopilot. But I look forward to the days where I could sit in the back seat and just chill and the car drives me, but I'm pretty sure we're 5-10 years out from that. Next question, build quality. I'd say it's like an 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. Obviously, it's had its recalls. There's certain sounds that I used to hear, but if you go to Tesla, luckily they're pretty good. Their technicians know everything when it comes to these cars. They fix them. I actually had a problem with my seat. I guess I'm a little bit of a fat boy, gained a couple pounds over the years, and I broke the side of my seat, which you used to push it forward and back. So they had to like re-bolt it. So it shows maybe the build quality is not perfect, but I haven't really had any big issues. And obviously the main factor that you guys could see, I wrapped it in a gloss black. It's a little dirty right now, so it might not be too glossy, but I think the wrap is a must. The stainless steel gets so dirty that you have no idea. It is impossible to clean. I have a detailer come to my house, and he literally would have to use, I believe it's a glass cleaner on the stainless steel, and he said it was such a bitch, it wouldn't stay clean. So I wrapped it, it stays clean, but I'll tell you, the wrap job, one, they didn't do a great job, so no shout out to them. If they did, I would shout them out. And two, the wrap kind of deteriorates a little bit over time. It's been a year. I got the wrap like a month after I got the car, so definitely something to consider. Definitely wrap your car, but get a good quality wrap. There was no learning curve for me. I had a Model Y for 3 years prior to getting this. I love electric cars. They're the fastest cars ever. Like, if you want to take this thing and go next to a Lamborghini on the highway, they're going to look at you and not want to race you, because these things are powerful, instant torque. As soon as you hit the gas, you have power. In a Lamborghini, you hit the gas, it still takes a little bit for that thing to throttle up. So these are instant torque to it. And the giant touchscreen in the middle, is it slick or just annoying? It's honestly pretty cool, but you don't get the feel of like a normal car where you look at the dashboard. Everything is on your like 20-inch display. I believe it's 20 inches. Everything's in there, jam-packed. I do wish the UI was a little bit better, I'll be honest. I feel like the UI inside the car isn't that good. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, it's great. I feel like we could show maybe this cover, because the cargo space, can you fit vending supplies, claw machines, and all that stuff? I don't necessarily have any of that in here right now, but I have boxes for one of my companies. I got to ship some boxes and shipping boxes. I have my golf clubs. I also have my snowboard. I haven't taken the snowboard out, but it fits a lot of stuff. 5.5 foot bed. And also, if you ever work like a construction job, you have your electricity here. Plug anything in here. One day I'm going to plug in a vending machine to it, but it's pretty cool. Electric tonneau cover, so this goes up and down. I've never seen this in a truck, so that's electric. I think it's one of the best features if you're moving stuff, if you need it to hold down. This thing works well. You could stand on it. It is great. And yeah, let's rattle off a few more questions and let's get on with it. I feel like out of all electric vehicles, you have Rivian, you have Hummer, you have Lucid, you have so many electric cars out there. You have Priuses. Maybe you drive a Prius. This is probably the best one. Obviously, if you're not thinking about money, if you don't think about size, and if you don't think about like charging it at home, this is the coolest one by far. But I think ending the video on the truth of it, these cars weren't built that well. It took 4 years for me to get this car from my $100 deposit 4.5 years ago, or 5.5 years ago at this point. And now I have the car. It's nothing but recalls, nothing but $40,000 in value down. But nonetheless, I guess it's a great car. I like the car. It's the best car I've ever driven, I've ever owned, I've ever had. And if you're jumping into it, there are so many deals on these cars. You can lease these cars for now less than like $800 a month. Incentives on having an EV, especially as a business owner, you can write it off. You get EV credit back. So there's plus and minuses to it. You know, if I had to just do a broad rating of my Cybertruck, as much as I thought this video would be a lot of hate for Cybertruck and Tesla and Elon, I'd rate this car a 9 out of 10. You have -1 for the recalls, for Elon killing me on my value, but it is a great car, especially like even in the back, like the most room I've ever seen in a truck. I rarely sit back here, but you got a 9-inch screen and you got 3 seats and it's plenty of room. I'm a pretty big dude, almost 6 foot, and there's still so much room for anyone to sit back here. So last question, what's the funniest or weirdest thing someone said when they saw your Cybertruck? And someone actually was older and they're like, oh, are you in the military? Is this a military vehicle?
Your Tesla is locked, sir. Sentry mode activated.
I don't know if you heard that, but I added a sound feature. But nonetheless, someone was like, oh, are you in the military? Is that a military truck? There's no branding on anywhere on this car. So like if you were to come up to this car and you lived under a rock, or like TikTok was like, who's TikTok? You're not gonna know what this is because there's no Tesla. There's nothing on this car that tells you what it is. So I got that question, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you subscribe, like the video down below. You can check out my last video where I race a Lamborghini, and that was so much fun. But if you guys enjoy the car content, you want to see me load up vending machines in this thing, leave a comment down below. I really appreciate you watching this video. And if you're considering buying a Cybertruck, comment down below. I'll give you all the things that I didn't answer in this video in the comments. So appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.